I'm Sue Zingher.
I'm Haley Brown.
And I'm Deborah Roll. We are all 8th grade science teachers at West Craven Middle School, and we are here to discuss how we use Schoolnet to influence our student learning. What to talk about is how we select our questions that we use in our common assessments. We do quizzes probably every week and a half, and we all sit down and we go into Schoolnet and we pick our unit, and then we pick the objective that we're working on.
Yeah, the clarifying objective that we're quizzing on.
And we pull that up and we get a list of questions, and we all basically sit there and work our way through the questions and decide whether we think that's a good, fair question that we want to use. A lot of times we'll replace it. We'll do one of the quick tests, and we'll just go through and look at them and throw them out and replace them. And usually a quiz for us is about 15, between 15 and 20 questions. And we'll use those as our common assessments in between benchmarks, to where we can sort of keep track of whether the kids are really getting the clarifying objectives.
And we try really hard to pull questions that are basic definitions all the way up to the things that really are going to make students critically think about certain answers.
All right.
What we do then is, using our netbooks, we set up the common assessment. Could either be online as a express test that we've made as a quiz, or it could be like a review assessment where the kids actually log into Schoolnet and they run through the test. They're allowed to review immediately after they hit submit, and that way we look at the Proctor dashboard and kind of realize very quickly where some of the reteaching needs to happen, even before we've analyzed the data.
And to analyze the data, Schoolnet's really great because you can either organize it by item, or you can organize them by percent correct. So you can really see not only for your one class or your 4 classes, but then we can go through, we can compare how all 3 of us did on the subject. And we can see what our students missed the most, what the standard was, and we can really figure out if there's one standard that the students really need to refocus on, and that drives our reviewing and our reteaching as well.
One of the things that we do when we analyze our classroom results is that we also go through and pull up most missed, and I think you sort of talked about that. And we literally write up a report that shows like the top, anything from what, 75%?
Yeah.
75% missing it, not getting it, and we just go through and pick those for us. And it's amazing how they are always, almost always the same, maybe in a slightly different order, but when you actually look at that data, it's pretty tight, and I have to believe it's because we've collaborated so much.
Because we have all 3 different different dynamics.
We teach very different.
But it seems like if we set the goal for the kids at 75, and we're trying to push them toward the 80 or 85, but if we say 75, then we go look at the data analysis. Anything below a 75, it's just whether you're an AG kid or an EC kid, or I'm somewhere in the middle, it seems like the same questions are missed. Yeah. So that gives us an opportunity to kind of go, well, is that something that we didn't hit strong enough? Or is it the wording of the question? Or was it asking something that was like, maybe one of the choices or the answers weren't correct? So we're actually not just analyzing the students' reactions to the question, but the question itself. And that kind of gives us feedback amongst our collaboration.
So I really think the way that we can break this down and the way that we use it so consistently has helped raise their confidence level. And so when they do see that EOG at the end of the year, I think it's going to pay off.
Yeah, and I'm with this goal sheet, this goal setting that they do, it's an individual thing. They take pride in like, oh, I made my goal, or Zingher, I shot too high and I didn't study enough. And I'm like, you mean you studied for these benchmarks? Wow, you didn't come to it cold? And that may be that kid's goal, is that they actually studied for the benchmark instead of coming into it like a regular, just another day at school. And that, to me, is instilling some pride in their ability to achieve more.